Hi, I'm Streaky. Today I'm answering the question from the comments of how do I know when something sounds bad? So for me, it's not about finding out what's bad, it's just working out how to get things better. I'm not there to listen to things and go, well, that's wrong, because you need to listen to a track first of all and then think, okay, what are they trying to achieve? What is this genre of music? How should this sound? And that is all experience, and that is all from mastering or mixing thousands and thousands of tracks over the years. And so if you are a mixer or a mastering engineer, you need to be banging those tracks out quickly. Don't spend ages on mixes, because then you'll get a mix as much different things as you can, master different things, because then you get a sound in your head of how things sound and how you can use your equipment to get those things, you know, right or wrong. But really it's not a question of listening for, you know, I think a lot of people overthink things too much, and I think they add too much EQ and compression and everything, and they're just throwing loads of crap on it, and I don't think that's the right way to go. You need to be thinking, what can I not do? So it's kind of, if I just add a little bit at top, how's that doing? How's that changing the whole sound of the track? If the low end, because you've got to listen to the same speakers all the time, you've got to spend hours and hours listening to normal, you know, already made commercial music. If you can stick to a genre, great. But if you're a mixing and mastering engineer, you normally have to be able to do most genres, and usually can these days, because let's be fair, you know, nobody's really listening to just, you know, I'm not just a punk these days, you know, just into hip hop. If you're into hip hop, you're also into all sorts of stuff, and if you might be into drum and bass, you could be into all sorts. So it's not really a question of that. You kind of know, okay, how does a house song sound? Okay, it's going to need some low end. So I can leave the subs on. But you know with your speakers, if they're farting too much, okay, there's too much low end. There's something going on there, and you kind of get an ear for that. Because once you've gone through that time of doing loads and loads of tracks, you're going to get that sound in your head. So as soon as you put something on, you go, okay, I know the genre. And then you go, how's it sounding? I can kind of hear what they're going for, but they haven't got it yet. I need to get it up to level. So it's always, right, get it to the place where, get it to a level, get it in the ballpark, should we say. Let's get it up to where it should be level-wise. Now, okay, what's going on with the bass? Always start with the bass. What's going on? Is it boomy? Is it things? Now, when I first started, someone said to me about boomy bass. I didn't really know what that was originally. And so that is part of the experience that I'm saying about. It took me ages just to get my head around that, and then how to cure that and how to notice that. And naturally, the thing you find is that with experience and over the time of just doing track after track after track, your ear naturally gets used to, it's just ear training, your ear just gets used instantly to knowing it's sibilant, it's bright, it's too bassy, and these things are just so natural and quick that you're not even thinking that in the end. You're just going straight for the equipment. You go, okay, it's like suddenly you're cutting bass and you're trimming and you're just trying to get it somewhere. You're trying to get it in the ballpark. The tops are going crazy. You're taming them. You're bringing stuff down, and you're automatically thinking, oh, how's that affecting the kick? Suddenly the snare's not snapping still because you've brought too much off, or you've de-essed it and it's suddenly sounding lispy. Just all these things become a real natural thing, and that's exactly where you need to get to, so you can get in the ballpark really fast. I can get in the ballpark instantly. Well, with it halfway through a track, I'm in the ballpark. I've got rid of all of the main things that have got in my head, and I'm up to the right levels, and then I'm just going over and over and over the track again, just doing small tweaks, small tiny tweaks, mainly a lot of the time taking off a load of the stuff that I did to get me in the ballpark. Which sounds weird, but it's like, because to get you in the ballpark you might put 1 dB on, but then later on when you've done another tweak you're then taking off half a dB, or you might go, actually top end sounds better on that bit of kit than it does on that, or because now I'm compressing I don't need that top end, because you're just tweaking all the way, and then in the end the greatest thing is when you realise that you haven't actually done much, but you've got to this place where it's sounding exactly in your mind where it needs to go. And that is the art of it. That's the basics of how you know when something is sounding right. You can't do any more. You've gone through everything you've got. You know your tools back to front so that you know what you've finessed, and you've finessed it and you've finessed it. And sometimes you're not even having to finesse it. You're just putting it on, listening to it and going, yeah, it's a pretty good mix that. What I'm going to do. So you turn it up, you get it to level, and then is there anything I can add? Can I add anything to that? Not can I take away. What can I add? Can I add anything? No, I can't. So, you might then, when I say add as well, it kind of means subtract too, because you might then go, okay, well, I can do a little nudge here, and that's going to just suddenly bring the bass in. But then you've got, a lot of the time when you do things like that, when you take stuff away, you end up taking stuff away. You end up taking some kind of juice away from somewhere else. So that's always a toss-up, taking stuff away. It's easier to add. But sometimes you add too much. That is just the process. You are going over and over and over. So to answer the question, I don't know if I have, how do you know if something sounds bad? It's time. You have to be patient. You have to do the work. You have to go through mix after mix after mix. If you're mixing your own music, get on with it. Just leave it. If it's not working, put it to one side, move on to the next track. If that's not working, move on to the next track. Just keep going. Get someone else's track in. Do that. Come back to yours. You'll hear instantly. The next day you come back to it. What was I even thinking? Because then you're listening as a whole, and you've zoned out of just listening to that bass note that was annoying you, or that hi-hat that was too much, or and always listen quietly if you're mixing, because you can hear things that are popping out. You can get the balance really well if you're listening quietly. I master really loud, and everyone just thinks, how can you even hear what you're doing? But again, that's just what I've got used to, and I just like that. I like that feeling. I think speakers sound good when they're loud. I feel I can hear stuff. A lot of people don't like that. They can only do it quietly, but that's not my bag. But that's something that you learn over the years, and that's something that you will develop yourself, and that's your own style. So take your time, go through the motions, get through thousands of tracks, and really just sit, listen to commercial music on your speakers in your room as much as you can. Don't think about what's going on with them, just listen. Don't think bass, top, blah, blah. Don't overthink it, just listen to the music. Just listen. And then you'll slowly, every time you put something on that isn't commercial music, you'll go, I know what's wrong there. Anyway, I don't know whether that rant and thing is a bit boring. If you've got any, hopefully you've got something out of that. But please leave me any questions you've got in the comments. If you've got this far, then you can get a discount on mastering with me. There's a code below. And please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye. Hi, I'm Streaky. Today I'm answering the question from the comments of how do I know when something sounds bad?